So many home buyers are missing out on this great opportunity right now. I know they're freaking out. Why wouldn't they, right? Interest rates went from 3 to 7, which is a 4% increase in interest rate in just 12 months, in just 1 year. So in this video, I want to show you some data because we can't just look at 2020 and 2021. That's an anomaly, right, in the industry. We have to look at some data. So I'll take you back years to show you the data because the market is normalizing right now. I wanted to put together this video to show you some data and really explain, really deep dive, do a deep dive into, does it make sense to buy a house right now? What to expect in the housing market in Texas? Where is it going? What's going to happen with the interest rates? And how to build wealth with equity with real estate. So this is something I wanted to share in this video. If you're interested, don't go anywhere. Keep on watching till the end. And there's so much fear. There's so many questions and concerns because of the media of what's being shown, right? The housing market is crashed. Rates are going through the roof. Don't buy. It's a disaster. And it's not really the whole full big picture. So if you're in the market to buy a house in 2023, I think this video will be very helpful to you because I'll share some data where then you can make an informed decision by yourself if you should buy a house and what to expect going forward. Okay, so since the inflation peaked and we're predicting that the inflation has peaked right now, we know that the mortgage interest rates will start to come down. In the slideshow over here, you see the inflation drives mortgage rates, and there's a pattern, and it goes all the way to middle 2022. The next slide I wanted to show you is that the housing always stays strong through recessions. That's another reminder for you that, historically speaking, if we look at all the recessions going back, the housing market was always strong during the recessions. It's only back in 2008 where the housing crash, the bubble, caused the recession. Okay, but normally, if you're concerned about the home prices dropping, they won't, and not in Texas. Okay, so if we talk about other states, maybe they will come down a little bit. And what you're seeing on the news and in the media from Zillow reducing prices, Zillow is still an estimate, and all the other websites are still estimated value. They were overinflated from the beginning. So if they have to reduce the listing price, that doesn't mean that that's actually a decline, a drop in home values. That just means that the listing was, the sellers got a little bit too excited and tried to sell the house for too much. So then the market is catching up. But the appraisers always look at the data, and when they go and look at last 3 months, 6 months, I have a cool video on my YouTube channel too, where I'm interviewing Mike, an appraiser, and he's talking about the appraisals in detail. So if you want me to send that to you, drop a note in the comment section, just say appraisal video, and I'll be happy to send that to you. But going back to the slides over here, the main thing that I want you to focus on, and the main thing, really explaining and proving that the home prices will not drop, is this slide over here. This is a slide comparing the household growth versus annual completions. So it goes back all the way to 2002. So this is 20 years, okay? Now, look all the way back. Look at 2006, the huge drop in formations, right? So that was in 06, and then you can see that the annual completions, that's how many homes were built. How many homes were built by builders were available for sale. So in the orange color, you can see that in 06, we had many, many more homes on the market than actual households, right? So that's just simple supply and demand, right? There were more homes available than actual households, meaning potential buyers and demand. So that's why 06 and 07, it dropped to a crash, and we saw a crash in 08. But as the years go by and you go all the way to the right over here, and you look at 2020, 2021, 2022, you can see that if we look at the blue line, the household growth, the household formations, meaning buyers, are way higher than the amount of homes available on the market. So you could see that the annual completions are way lower compared to what we saw in 08. That's another sign, as the market is normalizing right now, that's another indicator and proof to show that the home prices will not drop. It's not a crash. So if you're trying to wait out the market, that's not a good strategy. Average equity in homes. This is a good slide that shows you back in 08, most homeowners, you only had about 19% of home equity in their home. And in 2022, most home buyers, because we saw so much appreciation last couple of years, in the home values, the most home buyers right now have about 58% equity in the homes. Now, this also helps us answer the question in regards to foreclosures and why the foreclosures, yes, they're rising, but let's take a look at the other slide over here. With so much equity in the houses, if we go back all the way to 2008, you could see, and then on the right over here on the bottom, you see 2022. So yes, if we compare, the media is basically comparing the 2022 foreclosure numbers, January to January in foreclosure activity. The 2022 is higher than 2021, but 2021 is the historical low of all time, right? I mean, 2020, 2021, you couldn't really foreclose on a house. That's why the foreclosures were so low. So of course, obviously, you compare any number to 2021, it's going to be an increase in foreclosures. But if we compare this back to 2008 and 2009, 2010, when it was the highest, we're nowhere near those numbers, guys. Nowhere near those numbers. Okay. So foreclosure wave is not coming. I wouldn't expect that if you're waiting for homes to hit the market and you try to pick them up at a good, fair price, low price. It's not going to happen. People, home buyers, homeowners have too much equity in the homes. So I wouldn't expect any wave of foreclosures. Another question that comes up very often is comparing, renting to purchasing a home. I think that this chart over here shows it very clearly. Initially, because of the times where you live in right now and the high interest rates right now. Again, we went from 3 to 7% interest rate within 12 months. That's crazy. That's insane. It's never happened before. And in most people, if you're buying a house in 400, 500 price range, that basically bumped up your monthly payment by about $1,000 roughly. So that's a huge difference compared to a 3% interest rate. Now we're in the sevens. Now we're back in the low sixes again. You know how mortgage interest rates work. And if you don't, drop a note in the comment section, say mortgage video and mortgage rates video, and I'll share that video with you. I have it on my YouTube channel where I break it down and go in detail on how mortgage rates will really work. Okay, so looking at this, comparing buying to renting. Now, remember that when you buy a house, you are securing, right? So what you're doing is you're setting up, because the mortgage payment is set for 30 years in most cases, or 15, but 30 years for most cases. And you're securing your monthly payment. You're basically freezing your monthly household expense. So from year one, year two, it doesn't change, right? Because you locked it in. It's a fixed interest rate. So when we buy a house right now, let's say in this particular scenario, we're looking at a starting home value of 400,000, 4.75 interest rate. And if you purchase the home, the monthly principal and interest in year one is 2,395. These are estimated numbers. Don't hold me to it, right? Just to a comparison, just to, allow you or let you see and just give you a good data point, a comparison, so to speak. So in the first year, the monthly principal and interest is $2,395. If you're renting, it's $3,000. And then, but what we forget is that every payment that you make, and again, if you own your own house, or if you're renting, you're still paying a mortgage. You're just not paying your own mortgage. You're paying somebody else's mortgage, right? You're paying your landlord's mortgage. So in this case, remember that when you have that set and secured, it's set for a long period of time. But we are expecting the annual rental increase to be at 6%. So as the rent prices keep going up, you can see in year two, year three, it kind of breaks even year four, and then it keeps going up in purple. You could see the rents keep going up and up and up and up, and then the mortgage payment stays the same. The only thing that will change over time is your homeowner's insurance and taxes. So you have to be careful about that too. But rent will still be higher and higher, and your mortgage payment will remain lower. And when you are a homeowner, remember that having a mortgage on your house is a tool to help you build wealth over time. So you can purchase with a specific financing, like right now. The rates are higher, cool. Yes, it is what it is. But if you can get a good house with a good deal, sellers are paying closing costs again. They're paying title policy in Texas. You can refinance within 6 months, right? We know the rates will drop in the first quarter or mid 2023. You can always refinance. So get the house and then refinance, get the rate, refinance at a lower interest rate. And we're expecting the rates to be somewhere in the mid fours, maybe mid fours, hopefully. So it would definitely make sense to refinance in the next 6 months to 12 months. So buy it now if you can get a good deal, and then refinance. But going back to this over here, buying the first year comparing to renting, what most people don't talk about is the appreciation, right? So the home prices increase, they go up in value. So you're building equity. So that's building wealth. And in this particular case, if it's 400,000 initial purchase, we're expecting that after 9 years, that home would appreciate at normal appreciation, nothing, crazy. We're not looking at 2020, 2021 numbers. We're looking at normal appreciation. That home will be worth 607,000. So and that's one big piece that everybody is missing out, is that with each and every payment, you're building wealth. Okay. And if we look at the net gain by buying a home, you're looking at $254,000 roughly. And that's after 9 years. So if you compare buying a house today versus renting for 9 years, you're missing out on $250,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And the home continues to appreciate. That's just historically looking all the years back. The data will always prove that in the long term, real estate always does well, and it will keep going up. So in this case, we have the initial closing cost, the cash flow, cost to sell, right, paying the agents, but the appreciation gain is 207,360. I mean, how can you, I mean, this should be able to really explain and show you that buying a house is always better than renting a house. Okay. And then the next slide, Joe, I wanted to show is most people don't know, but in order to, I mean, just something curious, right? Just something funny. The net worth tier. So the top 1% is 10 millions. So if you have a net worth of 10 million, 10.8, you're in the top 1% in the country, but just $1 million, you're in the top 5 in the country. And if we look at this over here, what it doesn't also show is that most people, all the people that are millionaires, 2/3 of them got there by real estate. So either being homeowners, primary home, investment property, it was using and utilizing real estate, knowing that real estate will always go up in value, and knowing that the mortgage you can always refinance. You can become a homeowner. Maybe later in time, you want to pull out some money. You can do a cash out. You want to pull out some money to buy another investment property. That's always something you can do once you have a house and you have the equity in your property. So I just wanted to show these to you. And then the regional trends in South, because we're talking about Texas market update. We're looking at the year over year existing home sales has dropped 27.2%. Again, there's more buyers than available homes for sale, right? It's always demand and supply. And the median house price, 346,300, and that's still year over year 8%. So going into 2023, we are expecting that the home prices will increase another 5% in Texas. And that's something that you need to know about. The median home price is projected to keep rising by 2030. Experts believe the median price will be nearly $400,000. Again, the appreciation, building wealth with real estate, this is what we're talking about. So if you buy a house now, even with higher interest rates, you can always refinance within 6 months to a year, but don't miss out on an opportunity, because right now, with the interest rates being so high, a lot of home buyers are on the fence, right? They're leasing right now, they're renting, but once the rates come back down, they're still there. They still want to buy a house. So we're in a position right now. Well, if we compare to a year ago, people were paying 10-15% above list price, right? There's so many buyers, so many offers on a house, and then that just went away because the interest rates went through the roof. But if the rates come down, or when they come down, we will see another wave of buyers going and hitting the market, because they know, hey, we're at 7 now, they're going to come down to 5, maybe under 4.5. There's going to be a wave of home buyers again, and you'll be in multiple offer situations again. So I think that right now, the first quarter, December, I'm making this video mid-December 2022 till January, February, this might be the best time to buy a house. This is a fantastic, great opportunity. And I just don't want you guys to look back at this in the future and say, hey, 2022, 2023, that was the best time where you can get into real estate, become a homeowner, and start building wealth for you and your family. And why? And it's a perfect opportunity in housing. We have the income increases. We have tight inventory. Rates will drop in the next 6 months to a year. And the increased buyer activity will push prices even higher. So if you're thinking the home prices will drop, they won't. It's projected that the home prices will continue going up. And again, we're talking about the Texas housing market update. I think that in 2023, we'll have the home appreciate at least 5%. That's what all the other experts and gurus, and I believe with them, are saying. So just wanted to put this video together. Hope you like it. Make sure you smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're in Texas and need help financing, or if you have any additional questions, you can always call me or text me directly on my cell phone. My contact information is at the end. Thanks for watching. Watch this video next, and I'll see you in the next video.